Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Pin and Tape Chat Show. It is season 8, episode 1, and as you can tell, I haven't got much of a voice at the minute. It's half gone, don't know where it went, but I lost it somewhere. I'll probably find it in this day. So who've we got here? Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. We got Katrina, Sharon, Simon, Harry, Baz has just joined. I'm sure I've seen a few more in the chat as well. And welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me for another night. It's just going to be a short one tonight. As I did promise, I would be back last night, but I've been really unwell lately, so I had to postpone again on top of the other postpone. And yeah, but we're back, and we'll be back again on Sunday. How is everyone? How are you doing, Baz? Are you missing your colony? They are all moved into their new nest doing a bit actually. They're all happy and doing their thing. So that's cool. Apparently I've got really crap signal. I mean rubbish signal. So that might be an issue for a bit. Excuse me. So what else was we going to talk about? Let's talk a little bit about the shows, because we haven't talked since the Sheffield show, and oh my god, what a day that was. Hectic, a lot of learning on my behalf, but it was a good show overall. Over 300 people through the doors on the day. It was absolutely mind-blowing compared to Bristol last year, which was like 86 people or something like that came through the doors at Bristol. So absolutely amazing. It was really cool. Like what's the word? I don't know. Achievement for us. Nice step up from it, and onwards and upwards as always. So we got the Weymouth show coming up in May. We have some amazing things planned for the Weymouth show. It is slightly different. It's not a complete ant show. It is a celebration of my local area. So I've got loads of really cool stuff coming in from the locals. I've got some stuff coming in a little bit further as well. We've also got Dave's Little Beasties coming to the Weymouth show. He's going to be holding a big old stall there. So that's super exciting for us having his presence there. I've also got some really cool stuff planned for on the stage, not just lectures, but something a bit different. So if you're coming to the Weymouth show, I think your minds are going to be blown. It's definitely not something we've had on the stage before, put it like that. But you're going to enjoy it. And then the Bristol show in August. Oh my god, the Bristol show is going to match the Sheffield show, definitely, if not surpass it. Mainly because Dave is coming to the Weymouth show, Mantis Garden. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm not sure about Bristol yet. He said maybe, we'll see how it goes, sort of thing. So he might say yes after the Weymouth show. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, he's going to be our main trader at the Weymouth show, I believe. It's a smaller show in comparison to the Bristol and the Sheffield shows. But it's given me flexibility to do other things, we can say. So the trade area is smaller, but everything else is kind of up a little bit. Because really, that's what I wanted. I was never that bothered about the trade section. I always wanted the stages and all of that other stuff. But the trade section is obviously a necessary as well. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fantastic. And with Dave there, it's going to be even more fantastic. So that's the Weymouth show in May. And then we've got the Bristol Ant exhibition. And Weymouth will be his second. Yeah, I know. He's only done that one in Taunton as well. It's going to be crazy. I know he's super excited to come along. So yeah, it's going to be brilliant. And yeah, the Bristol show in August. We have a new venue with tons of parking. We have enough space for 300 or 400 cars, or if not more probably. So car parking is not an issue. That is on site as well, completely free. What else? It's all on one level, all in one room. So yeah, it's all those issues from the Sheffield show are sort of on top of for the new up and coming Bristol show. I've made sure to make it a priority to sort all of those issues and have them at the top of my mind. And other issues, I've asked for advice from other traders on things that I might have forgotten. And we have upped the ante on a lot of things. Watch all his videos, yeah. See, I've been watching a lot of his videos for years, but I didn't realise it was just, I never make that connection. I just watch videos. And then, so let's talk a little bit about Bristol, because I've actually got some news to tell you about Bristol that I'm trying to get to, but I keep diverting into other realms of madness. So, as of tonight, we can officially announce, and this is official now, so it's all official, the second sponsor for our Bristol show. So we've got Answer Us is our sponsor, as he always has been. We have a second sponsor on board for our Bristol show. It is the well-known and well-loved Unseen Universe. Mitch from Unseen Universe has supported us massively throughout the Sheffield show, and now he is coming on as an official sponsor for us for the Bristol show. So that's a really big thing for us, not just because he is amazing, but because of his he does a lot of shows, has a lot of knowledge, lots of wisdom that he can pass on to me, the show basically. So yeah, it's really exciting times for us, and obviously that extra money will help massively. So yeah, like I say, it's super exciting times to have another sponsor on board, and just having them wanting to support us is really fantastic as well, quite honestly. Yeah, Mitch is a bit of a legend, isn't he? I believe he's coming to the Weymouth show as a guest, and then he is going to come and trade at the Bristol show. Obviously, it'd be silly for him not to be there. So yeah, make sure you check out his stall at the Bristol show. He does hold some amazing stuff, and he was in the bottom room at Sheffield, so I don't think everyone got that good look at his stock. But make sure you do pop along to him at this one and pick up anything you didn't get there. We have some other amazing traders as well. I'm not going to divulge. I'm not going to give away all of them, because I'm not going to give away all of it until after the Weymouth show. I will upload the full trader list after the Weymouth show. But we have some amazing traders already on the list publicly on the website. So some of them are previous traders that have been with us at Sheffield or at the last Bristol, and some of them are brand new traders that are super excited to join our little community of awesomeness. You know what I mean? We're very different to the other invert shows. We hold multiple stages and exhibits, and it's more about the other things than the trade area, if you know what I mean. The trade area is always secondary in our minds, whereas I think with the other shows it's sort of the other way around. So yeah, I think that everyone's looking forward to a bit of a different experience like they get with us. I think there was a lot of talk about how different we were after the Sheffield event, and it sort of excited a few people, which is really cool. Should have bought a and donated it to me. Yeah, fair enough. Caught him packing up. That is the best way sometimes. Catch them just at the end of the day when they want to get rid of the last of the stock. There's advice which goes around. It's like, don't make deals in the first few hours. Simple as that. So after the first few hours, you'll start, you start seeing a few more deals. Kind of, not always. But that's what I keep my eyes out for. Thank you, Katrina. It is doing well, isn't it? It's nice that it's doing well. See, I am absolutely exhausted. Can you tell? I'm just pretty done and stuff. I've still been working this week, even though I've been ill. I haven't taken a day off or nothing. It's been pretty madness. It's been great fun, in fact. We won't go into that. That's a story for another day. What else is there to talk about? So we got the extension on the Polyracus dive tank. Oh my God. We've got videos to upload on that. I've got another video to upload on that colony. I've got other videos that I'm working on. Loads of videos. So we're getting there. We are getting there. But as Simon said, I've been releasing loads lately. And I just reached over 900 subscribers as well. So that's really cool. And thank you everyone for subscribing and supporting. It's very, very cool. So anyways, the extension to the Polyracus dive tank. So now they've got 3 tanks. The third one I've left completely empty apart from a like amphitheater thing that came with the tank. I paid a tenner for the tank with everything that it came with, like loads of gravel and the amphitheater. Paid a tenner for it. So sound, that's happy days. Stuck that on top of the other tank, and I've used another vine which connects to the original vine. And like that first night, I put in 6 roaches, and I kind of drizzled a little bit of the ant sugars around the amphitheater. And wow, so the footage doesn't quite do it justice, but at one point, like the whole thing was black. So this is one of the reasons I didn't want to put substrate in this one. We've got 2 with substrate, and yes, they are cool to look at, but it's nice to actually see them in this nice clear tank where you can see every individual ant, and it's like, oh wow, that's a lot of ants. And the scary thing was, even though this tank was absolutely brimming with ants, they were everywhere, there were still ants in both the other tanks, just absolutely everywhere. It didn't seem to diminish the numbers at all. These other ants just appeared out of nowhere. So yeah, interesting stuff. Did I miss bus coming in? I don't know. If I did, I'm sorry. If I've missed anyone coming in, I'm sorry. And hello, thank you for joining. I'll let the carry on the lava there on the left hand side, that ant. And I bet you can hear the squeak of my chair, can't you? It's quite squeaky. I'm sorry about that. So anyways, yeah, mega colony. It is a bit of a mega colony, and it's becoming a bit of a not. What's the word? It's intimidating. It is intimidating. Any time I gotta try and get in the tank, like I gotta do some cutbacks soon because it's very thorny, as someone mentioned the other day. It's like it's overgrown. Let's say that. So dead ants on the surface. Ooh. Message me about that, Simon, and we will see if they're okay, because that might be something we need to talk about. All right, message me. Message me. But yeah, so I need to do a cutback, and every time I go in that tank, it's like, oh my god, they're everywhere, and they're on every leaf, and they're on every thing, and every time you put your hand in, they start pouring out with every crevice, and they are everywhere. My god, there's literally thousands of them. And yeah, they just So I'm gonna be rehousing my tarantula, seeing my pokey, not Mr. T. We got a new tarantula, which again I haven't filmed or put on the channel yet. We got a new tarantula that at the Sheffield show. I got it from Spar Spiders. I would highly recommend Spar Spiders. Officially, they are really cool guys. Like, as well as the stock, they were just really cool guys. They enjoyed the show. They came and bought ants. We had a nice chat about things. You know, upon purchasing the pokey, I was asking lots of questions about, you know, just everything, and they were more than happy to talk to me about every single silly question that I had. You know, it was just a nice conversation. So yeah, I would highly recommend Spar Spiders. Really happy, and again, their product was top notch. Not had any issues with the spider. Managed to rehouse it nicely into a bigger pot, because they always kind of come in a small pot, really, don't they? And I'm not very good with tarantulas yet, so I wanted it in a bigger pot, and that's easy actually. I managed to rehouse it really easily. But again, I will be rehousing it soon into a much larger enclosure, either one probably the same size or slightly bigger than Mr. T's, or I might just go really big with it into the large Exoterra that I've got and had there for ages, not done anything with, simply because then I've got something in it. It'll look nice, not just a eyesore in the corner of the room, but I won't ever have to worry about rehousing it again. Because the thing, you know, if you put them into enclosures, I'm not very good at rehousing spiders, tarantulas, whatever. I'm still quite intimidated by them, especially pokies. So yeah, it's probably just easier just to put him into a larger enclosure. As long as I know he's eating, then it should be fine. Pokey's being quite aggressive and wandering. It's not too much of an issue with a pokey. If it was another spider, if it was like a Carabiner versicolor as such, I wouldn't, like I say, I wouldn't put it into a larger enclosure because they're not going to actively hunt them that way. Whereas I think the pokey will actively hunt around the enclosure and it won't be too big for it. So that's going to be interesting. My other purchase, I got a leech at the Sheffield show from Steve's Animal Ark. Absolute legend. Steve is a legend. He's been in the hobby a long, long time. And I'd highly recommend seeing him over anything. Good evening, Susan. Thank you for joining the streams. If you like leeches and stuff like that, they're a little bit weird, I admit, because the blood and all of that kind of stuff. But if you can deal with that, then yeah, leeches are super cool. And obviously I go into the schools locally and the educational value of having leeches and telling them about bloodletting is like, it outweighs any grossness. I mean, I'm not too sure if I should let it feed on me though, mainly because I'm anemic and all my other health issues. Not just that, I'm on like 1 million pills a day. It's probably not the best thing for like in my blood for them to have. So I probably am going to go the like pig's blood route from the butchers or something like that. Or I'm going to convince my mate Aaron. My mate Aaron, he kept saying, "Oh, when you get to 500 subscribers, I'll let your aunt sting me. When you do this and when you do that, So I'll be like, come on then, I've got a leech. Let's stick it on your arm and see what happens." And he might. If he won't, I've got another friend who probably will. I probably don't have enough blood for a pet leech. Like, I don't even know when I last felt my heartbeat, to be honest. But like, they are super cool, and I do love it to bits. I love watching it, but I don't think I can feed it. There is multiple ways you can feed a leech, including sticking it into a sausage, like sticking the blood into a sausage and then have it that way. But you tend to have blood sort of squirting out everywhere, from what I've heard. The other thing is to almost freeze it, freeze it into a block and then like scoop it off into like ice cream. And I'm not really sure. I need to work that kind of. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I'll probably just convince one of my mates. Right. I know what a mate's for, eh? In fact, Simon, I've got a job for you. Oh dear, we probably haven't got enough blood between us, to be fair, buddy. Oh no, I don't know why. I did start at a weird time, and I don't know. And it's a different day to normal. I normally do it on a Wednesday, but what was it? I was still throwing up last night, wasn't I? It's been absolute madness. Like out of nowhere, I still went to work, obviously. Out of nowhere, I just started throwing up and feeling awful for a few days. On top of getting over this nasty chest infection that I had, which I am over now, which is lovely, to be honest. I just completely drained myself at the Sheffield show. It's my own fault. My own fault. I will get my voice back properly in a few days, which will be nice because I'll be able to shout again. But I have a day off from the other work, so I will be in the office all day tomorrow, which is really nice as well. I'll be able to catch up a bit with things that I haven't fallen behind on anything, but I've kind of, when you've got loads of things you want to do, other stuff. It was a brilliant fire, wasn't it? That so we won't go into it, but there was a really nice fire today. We'll say that, and it was probably about 15 foot high, but we won't go into how the fire got there or whatever. It was awesome and it was controlled. Yeah, I think, Susan, to be honest, my kids had the sickness bug like when I was ill with my chest like a week or two ago. They had the sickness bug then, and I kind of thought, I've got away with it. And then someone was dropping back our kids the other day, and they had someone else's kids to drop back as well, because apparently the mums all kind of share the jobs now, and like one mum will send like 5 kids or what. One mum will go with like 5 kids and food, whatever works. I don't care. And when they came back, they were like, "Oh, the other kids just started throwing up." So I'm guessing it's sort of come round in circles. It was my turn. If someone's going to get ill, it's going to be me because of my low immune system and all of that. I was quite surprised I didn't get it the first time. I was really glad because if it had hit me whilst I was ill from my chest as well, it would have sucked. I was really bad with my chest this time, actually. It just hit really fast. I'm all good. It takes more than a lack of oxygen to slow me down, as I always say. I've lost so much time. See, that's the problem with not being here throughout, like, every day. Like, you just can't get organised. So what else is going on in the world? So I've got Baz's new colony. Not Baz's new colony. I've got a new colony from Baz. You're going to have to type it in. Campanotis cosmicos. Is that how you pronounce it? I'm going to call them my space ants, basically, because they're sort of like that name. They're really cool, and they've moved into a Ant Farm Supplies nest that I promised that I would try out for them. It is one of their large nests, not their largest, I don't believe, but it is a very nice, beautiful sand nest. In fact, I did a video on it, and I did release it, so that's... it's always hard to remember what I've done the videos on and released and what I got halfway through and haven't actually finished. So we done that one, and yeah, they moved in. I put them in yesterday. I only received them yesterday, so I put them in last night, and they moved in pretty much straight away overnight. I came back this morning. Well, no, I came in this morning and they were moving there, and I managed to get a bit of footage. And then I came back this afternoon and they had completely moved. All the test tubes are now empty. And now the whole colony, I think there's only one dead worker, which is completely normal with a colony of this size. You expect to see some sort of generational dying off. Good evening, Russ. How are you, buddy? Yeah, I am privileged, buddy. How are you? Happy birthday. I hope you got my message earlier. I saw it. Oh, it was... I don't know, about 9:30, 10 o'clock probably, and I was like, oh no, can't miss that. I made sure I gave you a message. I do try to go through people's birthdays when I can, but you never get round to everyone that you want to, really. Especially when you're out doing a million jobs like I was doing today and yesterday. We won't go into my jobs at the minute. So what else is going on in the world of me? We've got the leech I talked about. I talked about the pokey. I'm going to rehouse the pokey into the big one. What was my other buy? I bought a third thing. Oh yeah, I've got a new mantis. Oh, it's so cool. I got it from Manchester Mantids. It is a Darth Vader mantis. Now, you can all guess why I got the Darth Vader mantis. And that's strictly because I love Star Wars. You could put Darth Vader on anything, and I would probably buy it just for the name Darth Vader. But we have named him, and I hope you understand your Star Wars lore, Bane. Now, if anyone doesn't understand that, Bane is the name of another Sith Lord, Darth Bane. Bit of a legend, really. Put down the lore too. But we won't go into Star Wars lore tonight because that's another stream for another night, we could say. But yeah, so I'm looking at him right now. I've been letting him free roam. He's only small, bless him. Thank you for putting that in, Mantis Garden. That's helpful. You have a Darth Maul tea cup. What is a Darth Maul? I need you to send me a picture of that. That sounds amazing. Ooh. You got 2 new mantids. What did you get, Russ? You've seen a person. Boba Fett bugs. Yeah, I don't think that's quite. I'm not an idiot, but come on. Um, I was looking for a new mantis. Thank you, Susan. I was looking for a new mantis since Manny passed on not long ago. And yeah, he just they do look cool. They sort of caught my eye, and I saw the Darth Vader bit, and I was like, I'm sold. Why not? Give it a go. And I said, I've been letting them free roam at least once a day. I've been getting them out. He's been going on my hand, going around the desk, walking about. So I'm really hoping that he won't be as grumpy as Manny was, because Manny, after 5 minutes of holding, he would give you that look like, leave me alone. And he would jump all the way back to his enclosure. No matter how far away we were, he would go for it. Um, and yeah, so and then he would refuse to come. Thank you, Susan. He'd refuse to come out. Um, and quite frankly, he was a grumpy mantis. Like the kids used to love it. They'd be like, "Oh, you've got to play a mantis. Can we see him?" I'd be like, "No, he's fed up. I'm afraid he's done." What was Manny? Manny was one of the like tropical Asian forest mantises. They got like tints of blue in them. And he was a really cool mantis, but I think he got fed up with always being handled by kids. Like he wasn't really, but you know what I mean? You could just tell he didn't enjoy it that much. And we generally leave him in his enclosure actually when I take him towards the end. We open the enclosure door sort of thing, but he wouldn't ever leave. He'd just quite happily sit there giving us all evils like, don't you dare try and get me out. Um, but yeah, so that was Manny. We do miss Manny, but things happen. Mantises don't live long. It's one of the things you have to know when you're getting mantises is they don't live long. They're not like ants that can live like 20, 30 years. It's a short-lived mantis. Ant-wise, we've got so many ants on the shelf at the minute. Not stock. I mean, I've got so many grower colonies as well as my own colonies. I think I'm on like 40 something on these shelves at the minute. Bit crazy. Yeah, something around 40. I'm just looking at my monomorium actually. The monomorium are now inhabiting like 6 tubes, absolutely packed. So I'll be doing some more monomorium cells soon. I am always very specific with who I sell monomorium to. They are quite an invasive species. If you allow them to get out and you've got a warm house, you are going to have issues for a long, long time. So I am quite careful of who I should sell monomorium to. In fact, Sharon, you can vouch for it. Your monomorium are a nightmare, are they not? Um, They are a difficult ant to contain because they're so small. They breed like wildfire, and if you keep them warm, they breed even fast. They breed new queens as well. So I found a new hatchery earlier. Yeah. So yeah, they breed new queens within without a lates and stuff. They just keep pumping out new queens as well as workers. So you just got like a never-ending colony. Bit like Tetramonium actually. Tet bees are a bit of a nightmare, but again, I'm very careful with who I'd sell them to. But all monomorium to me, I don't often put them on the website, and when I do, sometimes I send people their money back. Yeah, no problem, Sharon. I thought you'd be able to handle them, to be honest, because you've got quite a nice collection of ants. And you've got my shouty advice, we could say. Simon, yeah. What's it? I'm not that bad actually. I don't shout that much. I just get a bit bossy occasionally. But yes, monomorium are one of those you've got to be careful of, just because they are a bit of a nightmare. What else we got? We got messers, formicas, camponotuses, asmore camponotus, tetramonium. Oh, Cremagaster. I forgot I had Cremagaster. And what's it? That's a Fusca colony there. I forgot I had them. What else we got? Oh yeah, we got them. And yeah, it's going when the door I have more. Yeah, they are really cool. apart from they're just small nightmares. But they eat loads, which is really cool. They're one of the few colonies you can chuck something in and almost guarantee it will all go. If they're on a decent size, then always. I'm not bossy. No, that's it. I'm not bossy at all. I'm just bossy. No, I'm not. When I have jobs that need doing, I like the jobs done. But most of the time, I don't have jobs that need doing. That's about right, I'd say. Yeah, I'm going with that. I'm allowed to be bossy. I'm your boss. Ha. Take that. Oosh. What else are we talking about? So, the leaf cutters. Tom has the common goes, but I've got more stuff. Yeah, right. So let's talk about the leaf cutters. The fungus is a little bit white at the minute, and I can tell you why. That's my fault. I did not give them new leaf this morning, and I meant to because they haven't had leaf all day. That meant. Yes, I don't have new snails. I have. No, you never disappoint, Sean. I have lots of baby snails of my land snails. Mantis garden. You can probably tell me what species they are more than I can. Um, but I have lots of babies coming up at the minute. They will be very cheap on the website, obviously. They are good for feeders at this young stage. They're not quite ready for sending out just yet, but they will be very soon. They're too soft to send at the moment. I wouldn't be happy to. But you can use them for feeders, or if you let them grow, quite frankly, they are a lovely, lovely pet. You're still feeding an empty tank of Lasius? Yeah, that's sort of the way it goes for a while, to be honest. 2 year Lasius, yeah. I mean, do I have any colonies for sale? Larger ants, more workers, larger colonies. Not at the moment, Cat, I don't think. I think the largest colonies I have at the moment, maybe 5 to 10 workers. Um, Not massive ones. I have got another order coming in at some point, but just not quite yet. That will be some larger colonies, but I am growing some colonies here. This is what I mean by grower colonies. I mean, Kat, I've got monomorium. If you want to try a monomorium colony, I'll talk you through that. And I could obviously do larger colonies of them. What have I got there? That's Queen 5. You don't want them. You won't want that. No, I haven't really got. I mean, most of these grower colonies are fairly new and refreshed and just come out of hibernation. So they're not even worth putting on the market yet as larger colonies. But honestly, Kat, it's been fine. This week has been a bit like that. No, I'll see what I can do on my next order. See what I can do. Got to order it first. Yes, I am drinking energy drink again. Don't moan at me. Yeah, I know, Katrina. That was one of the reasons I bought this colony from Baz. One, it's a nice colony, but two, because of the size, I needed a colony that would fit this mess. It's back to the leaf cutters. Yeah, I forgot to put the new leaf in this morning, so already you can see the detrimental effect that's had on the fungus. It's gone a really bright white colour, which isn't too great. They are starting to repair it with the new leaf and whatnot. It won't take long and it'll bounce back. Now, after we got back from Sheffield, the fungus was about 2/3 of the size that it should have been, and that was because of the thermometer and temperature drops and all of that. It was expected, and it's fine. No massive detrimental effects. Again, fungus bounced right back within a week. And then we went to another event over at the Weymouth Library. It was a free event at the Weymouth Library, and it was absolutely insane. I had over 200 people come through the door just to see me on my own. It was just me. It was crazy. But I made it work, as I always do. And it was great fun. and I'm hoping we got some great advertising done for the wild, for uh, the Jurassic Coast Wild Exhibition. That's the one. Sorry, I just lost myself. So yeah, that was a great event, but again, the fungus took another hit. So it did go back a little bit, but it only actually takes like a week to bounce back every time. And I'm sure by tomorrow, this fungus will look 10 times better again. But it is rather white looking at the moment. But you can see they're very, very busy now. I gave them some leaf. I gave them leaf probably about 6 o'clock this afternoon, 5 o'clock, and they are very, very busy. I have removed the lights from this colony at the moment, mainly because the lights I was using were UV lights and that only damages the fungus further. So I'm going to get some different lights for them which aren't so strong with UVs and stuff. I do have some plans for this year's, because I don't know if you know, but we have now been officially a shop registered with Company House for over a year, which is quite impressive, isn't it? I thought so, anyways. So we've been a shop for over a year. So I thought we need to start stepping up the game. We've got some cool plans, slowly taking action. Some of them fast, some of them slow, some of them medium. But we have lots and lots of plans. I think the shop's going to be expanding massively over this next year into basically a one-stop shop for everything ant-keeping and invert related. It's going to be pretty much amazing. We've got some other cool things that I'm planning around the website and other things that I'm planning around what I do. So yeah, I can't go too much into detail, as you all know, but you will start seeing our little Ants and a Lot logo just about everywhere. Maybe even on the telly and in films, you never know. We're going to get everywhere. You could, what? I missed a conversation here. Eucalyptus tree, I love seeing these. Well, Baz, if you'll come into the Weymouth show as a guest, you'll see them again. And obviously, Bristol, they will be there at Bristol. The Weymouth show. I am cagey. Do you know why I've got to be cagey? Because people tend to steal my ideas if I just come out with everything like I used to. By the time I actually get round to doing half of it, people have already been like, oh, I've done it first. It's like, yes, but you stole my idea to do that. So now I just keep a lot more things close to my heart. And quite often I like to let a little bit slip because it winds people up that they can't copy my full ideas. And it's quite funny to see them copy that little bit and sort of get it all wrong. That's quite amusing as well. Let them copy. Right? If the way I see it now is, if people are copying me, it's because I'm clearly doing something amazing. Let them copy. We're thinking of raising eggs in with the ants and have bramble growing in the tank. The ants will feed and can leave on with the hatches when they're bigger. It's very true. Katrina, I had stick insects in the multi-species tank. I don't think there's any left now. They have eventually wiped them out. But yeah, they carried on for quite a long time, obviously laying more eggs, etc., etc. Yeah, but as you do, 3 times this year. It'll be more times next year, hopefully, because you're stuck now, Baz. You're stuck. You've got to attend the shows, especially the ant shows. Recreating nature. I like recreating nature, but there is a point where you got to say, my house is still a house. It's not a forest. I don't know. I've got a cup of coffee. I completely forgot about my cup of coffee because I'm drinking an energy drink as well. Ha, you know what I'm like. Right, so if you are coming to the Weymouth show, let's talk. Are you coming to Bristol? Right, let's talk Weymouth show first. Let's talk Bristol show after. Weymouth show has car parking spaces. Wait for it. On site for over 200 cars. Right, off site, and I mean literally outside. Like there's the car park gate, and then there's another car park. So on the off-site, there's another 500 and something odd spaces, including spaces for coaches. It's minivan and camper van registered and all of that, so that you can stay the night in the van. It is a massive, massive car park with the hotel on site on that car park. So literally the hotel, the car park and the overflow car park are all within 5 minutes of the Weymouth venue. You literally cannot get closer without throwing a stick at the wall. You know what I mean? It's so close. And that is the Premier Inn. So it's a fairly decent hotel. You know, that is next to the seafront in Weymouth. It is absolutely beautiful. Literally, one side is the seafront, the other side is our venue. You're pretty much in the middle there. It's amazing. And if you don't like the Premier Inn, you've got the whole seafront and all the resorts down there. Obviously, come down, make a trip of it. There's going to be another raffle with loads of things to do in Weymouth given away in the raffle, because obviously I know all the local businesses. So it's going to be a really fantastic sort of day and event, and more relaxed for me, I'm going to say, because it's closer again. It's a lot less driving. You're going to, on the floor, Katrina, you're going to enjoy coming here and being jumped on by the kids. It'll be fine. But yeah, it's going to be such a great fun event. And I say all of those issues about parking, all the parking's free as well. There's no stairs on the whole event. It's all on one floor. We've opened up the other door because the main door to the building is like you go in on the top and then you've got to go downstairs into the sports hall. We've said no to that. We're going to go straight into the fire exit door, which is on the same, like it is the door into the sports hall. So that's going to be our door. It's all on one floor. Toilets are back upstairs, but that's an easy walk upstairs, or there's an elevator, and that's if you need the toilet. There will be refreshments and food on site, possibly even a ice cream van. There will obviously be face painters and entertainers and all the usual bits that we go for, and some amazing other stuff as well. Without going into too much detail, of course. It's local, so imagine what I can do with the full resources of everything that I can get locally. Yeah. With me being me. Like, imagine what I did 300 miles away, and now imagine me doing this locally. It's going to be a really good show. I'm excited about it, and we've got so much space. Right, but we won't go into that. Right, so Bristol, let's move on to Bristol. Weymouth. The train station's only like 15 minutes walk. If you don't want to walk, the taxi rank is right outside the train station. I believe they're going to do a set deal on the day, straight to the venue, because the taxi rank is our sponsor. So that's helpful as well. And then there's also a bus which takes you straight up the seafront. If you get on the number 4 bus, get off just by the Sea Life Centre, you'll see the Premier Inn. Walk behind it, there's the venue. It's so easy. So let's move on to the Bristol event. Oh yeah, and if you're lost, just give me a ring because I can tell you which way to go. Finally, I couldn't do that in Sheffield. My God. Right, let's talk about Bristol. We are in a new venue in Bristol. Yes, you can, Jared. We're in a new venue at Bristol. It is the Keynsham Wellsway Sports Hall in Keynsham, Bristol. Strictly because, again, they've got much better parking. They're going to open up the tennis courts for us, and if we want, we can even open up more tennis courts. So there is hundreds of car parking spaces at the Bristol event. which is really cool. It is a really nice big open sports hall, again, all on one level, nice good access, and just seconds away from where you're going to park, which is what we like. Again, there's going to be ice cream vans, face painters, entertainers, all of that sort of things. We've got some amazing traders already signed up to come. I'm not going to release that full list until after the Weymouth show, though. So you're going to have to wait a little bit for that. It's going to be spectacular. Make sure you are coming along. The local hotels, there is obviously loads of hotels throughout Bristol. There's also local camping. I can highly recommend who we went to last year. They were about another 15 to 20 minutes outside of Bristol in the southwards direction from the venue site itself, at a place called Love Hills Camping. Now, that's where me and Dean stayed last year, and they were absolutely fantastic. We turned up at like 2 a.m, and they were like, they didn't mind. They were just like, yeah, come on in, let's just be a bit quiet. Here's your tent space, do what you need to do. And we were gone the next time, and yeah, it was Bristol. Yeah, I know, Mantis Garden. I was, not annoyed, but I was a bit surprised when I saw that as well. It is what it is. Oh well. We're already looking to book our event for next year to get ahead of the game, we could say. But yeah, it is what it is. August the 5th is our one. July 30th is their one. They're in another sports hall somewhere else in Bristol. But yeah, again, man, the Invert show is very different to our one. That's the Bristol one you're going to. That was typical. Yeah, no, they're a very different show to what we do. We're more focused on the stages and stuff. They're more focused on the trades show, but we've both got kind of a mix of both. So it doesn't matter. Enjoy their show. Come to our next one. If you don't come to the Sheffield show, I'll slap you, Simon. No, I won't slap you, but you know what I mean. I'll mentally think about it and think, why didn't you come? But of course you're going to be there next year. Next year's Sheffield show is going to be spectacular. But yes, there is their show and then our show just a week after, both in Bristol. Slightly irritating, but it is what it is. Thing is, you can't coordinate these things. I have messaged and asked for a list of dates, but you only get what dates are, available. It is what it is. Well, I did try Manchester when I was booking the Sheffield one. I did try Manchester. I tried Leeds. I tried Liverpool. To be honest, I tried hundreds of places. But the minute you say ants, and because we didn't have a reputation behind us like the Invert show, it was really, really hard to get a venue. Honestly, I had hundreds of no's. In fact, I think Sharon might be able to vouch for me. When I send out emails, I send them out en masse to hundreds, like hundreds and hundreds of people at a time. And most of the time, you don't even get an email back. Sometimes you just get, oh, ants, that's a bit weird. And then you have to explain it. Sometimes you just get ants, no thank you. You know what I mean? So when we got this venue, we were actually sort of surprised that we got anywhere. But I had been trying for a long period at that time. But now we're getting the reputation behind us that, we are good hirers, or however the word is. Yeah, all right, but it's a bit hard to go knocking on doors 300 odd miles away. But it is what it is. I got it done, Mantis Garden. Thank you very much. But thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I'm currently working on another set of emails, and there's like 50 odd, I don't know, maybe 30 odd things on it. I'm going up to 300 people on this set of emails. So yeah, I do go for it. Thank you, Katrina. I think I might have spoken to him a few weeks back, actually, but I can't remember. But yeah, so what I say is getting a venue for, say, a party, like a birthday party, something like that, easy. Getting a venue for a show where you're going to be hosting ants, not so easy. Yeah, people, I don't think, to be honest, people quite understand how difficult it can be to get a venue. Get a venue that's equipped for us, equipped with access and stuff. And it just looked nice as well. You know, it did look the part. It looked like a really nice venue. Bit small for what size we were going to, but originally when we booked it, we only had 15 traders, a single stage, and one we would go use the main stage, and then another much smaller stage in the far corner where pin sets was. So, you know, for the original idea, it was actually a quite suitable venue. Yes, there was no parking. I admit that was an oversight on my behalf from the very start, but I don't drive, so that's kind of what do you expect, you know. It won't be overlooked again, but yeah, I think I did speak to him, Katrina, actually. I'll have a look back through my messages in a bit. But yeah, it was getting a venue was hard. And again, we didn't have that reputation of like good hires, or, you know, we didn't have a big show reputation behind us. It's me at the end of the day messaging people like, hi, I run an ant show, can I use your venue? And I got to be taken seriously, you know what I mean? Which isn't always easy. So yeah, it's not straightforward to just ring up and get a venue, I'm afraid. But I expect, but it is turning a bit easier now. We're able to like say, look, we've done all of these in the past, and we've got all of these booked to go. You know, you can speak to people that we booked from and feel our reputation. You know, it's easier now. But it has been difficult, I will say, you know. It's been very difficult just kind of getting people to, you know, get into ants and overlook the kind of creepy crawly side of the ants. You know, even other invert keepers have that sort of, not prejudice, but they used to talk to them about being an ant keeper, and they're sort of like, what? That's a bit, you know, yeah. Joe and Ray were doing talks now. They want to no time ain't happening. He's also lovely as a mindful of knowledge. But I am just trying to read. A cart in the room if you want to come with me. Yeah, you can just build on what you've done already. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Susan. Like what we've achieved so far, really, I think. Like I wasn't expecting a show like Sheffield for another year. Like if you had asked me this back at Bristol, you know, last year, I would have been like, "Oh, it's going to take a while." But it really did blow us away how fast it grew, and that was half of the problem, really. Like I say, I was only expecting a much smaller show, 15 traders, etc., etc. When we decided to take on that second room, the extra tables were needed, and the extra, like the stage was moved. And, you know, there was a lot of things added to the show, not last minute, but it was sort of, it wasn't the original plan. So, yes, like I say, parking was a complete oversight, but everything else, I think if we had had the original just singular room, 15 traders, etc., it wouldn't have been such an issue. It wasn't an issue, it was a brilliant day. What's the word? I don't know. I don't know. But they say I've learned from it. The next show's going to be fantastic. I've now made it like top priority. We'll never have two rooms again, unless now this is something I did play with is having the stage. If the stage area, if we've got such a speaker of such magnitude that we need a separate stage area, possibly we could have a stage in another room, but it would have to be well labeled stage this way, you know, and it wouldn't derive away from the trade section and exhibits too much, hopefully. But the idea from now is to have it all in one room. Parking on site has to be an absolute, because otherwise, like, you know, it's just me not learning from my mistakes, quite frankly, and that would be stupid for me to carry on trying to do what, you know. That's not what I'm about, is it? Let's improve. Let's make the show better, bigger and better, and more fun for everyone. In fact, I'm looking forward to 2014 already because I said earlier I'm already looking at. I've heard a lot. Thank you, Susan. All of my staff, not just me, everyone that helped me at Sheffield did absolutely amazing because it was a hectic day. We had a lot of last minute cancellations. Like, in fact, within a week, or as you know, a week or so of the show coming up, every single person on the second stage cancelled on me. Then I rebooked the entire second stage. Then half of them cancelled on me, and I managed to book other things in, and a few of them didn't even happen. So it was a bit of a nightmare, as well as the microphones and PA system and all of that lot got cancelled on us last minute, which again I managed to fix literally on the bus drive up there. We managed to hire new PA systems and all of that lot. So, it was just a bit hectic. But we've resolved these issues, and again, things can only go up. It's a learning curve, and I have got people helping me a bit more now, which will take a lot of weight off. And to be honest, it's a learning curve for all of my staff as well. By the time, within half an hour of the show started, everyone found their rhythm. Like Katrina, you and Dawn were on the door. Everyone kind of had a place and knew what they were doing after that initial hecticness. It was just getting in there was just a bit kind of madness. Like, everyone run, go, and that sort of situation, But again, I've forward thought about that now. So yes, all the setup was done for us, but we still had to do our posters and everything like that. I'm now making it a priority that I hire the day before as well, so I can get the entire show set up. So on the day, I just turn up, open the doors, and say, "Here you go, everyone, go on in." Traders, always. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that I've made a change wise. I'm not just booking the single day anymore. I am booking the day and the day ahead, just to make sure it's all done and perfect. I'm not running the risks anymore of things not being correct or organized. It is madness at the start. We need early access for staff and vendors and no early access. Yeah, all right, Katrina, there was a reason for the early access for visitors. Again, I did explain it several times, and not just that, I'm the one that's got to deal with the money. The early access tickets, obviously, they're slightly more. We don't have any more early access tickets available ever again. But obviously, they were slightly more money, and that gave us a lot more revenue for the show. And as you know how much the show cost me, shush. Yeah. But there was a very specific point for the early access. It was mainly for the media presence and other things that turned up that we sort of knew were coming, much like the government people that turned up with their early access tickets, etc., etc. But that was to get them in, dealt with, and out of the way. You can do the venue the night before. Katrina, did you just listen? We've got the venue the day before. Shush. Yes. No, I've sorted that. That's not a priority. It's part of the policies. We get the venue for 2 days as a minimum if we need it for one. In fact, in 2024, I have a venue for, I think, 4 days. Let's just leave it at that. Ooh. But that's an unrelated situation to the Ant show, I'm afraid. But yeah, things are sort of going in all sorts of directions. It's really fun, actually, really fun to be involved with, but really confusing. Got to split myself in sort of sections again. But we know how I like to do that. So I'll cut myself up and give everyone a little piece and be like, right, work out the clone situation. Once you work out cloning, get lots of me. And one of you will work it out, I'm sure. But I've been saying for years, right? if I could clone myself, I would probably get at least 10 of me and just have me working on things all the time. That would be a fun show, it would be, wouldn't it? But that would be a very different show to what we're doing here tonight. Let's just say that. Oh dear, I've just ran out of my energy drink. I have got my coffee. I'll drink my coffee. The other night I was in bed and it was like, what, about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, you know what? I need some sugar in my blood. You know when you just crave sugar? I drank 2 Relentless in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Rolled over and I felt fine, went to sleep. How weird's that? But yeah, they say caffeine has like a negative effect on me because of everything. But I don't know. I could do with more of. I was nude on the beach. Simon, nobody wants to know about your nude beach visits. Although we do have quite a lot of nudist beaches down here, actually. I only know that because I've been looking at the map locally from Google Earth, just like going around local towns and places, tourist information and things like that, for advertising reasons, obviously. And I was like, there's a nudist beach there. There's another one there. Oh, there's no, you were 2. Okay, I'll let you off. I thought you were visiting the nudists. They are sort of everywhere down there. You've got a purple? You've got my purple lighter. I think I've got one of Dawn's lighters, to be fair. I can hear something moving. I'm not sure what. It might be the pokey, to be fair. He kind of wonders about. Oh no, it's the roaches. It's the roaches. If you sit here quiet enough, you will hear things moving almost constantly. Brilliant. I have been here an hour now. I said it was only going to be a short one. So if you have anything further you want to talk about, any questions for me, please do put them into the chat now. Otherwise, I'm going to start closing the chat, closing the stream, and saying goodbye in the next few minutes. In fact, I'm going to go and get some dinner in a minute because I've just remembered I haven't eaten yet. Right, we'll do one duck race. We'll do one duck race. And I mean that because I do need to eat. One duck race. So if you haven't played a duck race with us before, all you need to do is chuck in a number. And we are playing with how many people? We've got 6 people in the chat right now, so we're going to go with 8 ducks. All you've got to do, choose a number 1 to 8. If that number's already been chosen, choose another number. It's not for prizes, it's just for fun. It's all about ducks. So in fact, yeah, we'll go with 8. Yeah, we'll go with a nice set of 8. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's hang on. Duck race. That one. Oosh. And share. Yeah, there we go. Right. So who've we got? We have, let's have a little look. We have Christmas Duck. Christmas Duck has been preparing for 2 whole months now. He's had his rest. He got away from being eaten at Christmas. He's had his rest. And he's ready to go on this race. We've got Viking Duck. He's going to be chasing Christmas Duck, mainly to eat him. We got Purple Duck here. You got to watch out for these purple ducks. These ones here, they're going to gang up on the rest. They've got gang colours, you see? Right, we've got Policeman Duck in between the gang coloured ducks. He's going to try and keep the peace, whilst these 2 are potentially, he's going to be running for his life. This one's chasing him, so they got a good chance. He's going to be holding back the rabble. We got Scuba Diving Duck, or whatever's going on here. He might stand a chance as well. I don't know about the water resistance. Underwater, we're going to have to wait and see. You just, you can never predict these things. I have, there, just, right. Let's get on with this race. Good luck, everybody. All right. What numbers have been picked? 5, 4, 7, 3, and 6. I am going to go with number 8 then. I'm going with a Christmas duck that's potentially running for its life. See, I really like duck, but some people say like duck's not. It's quite fatty, isn't it? The duck with orange sauce, exactly. If you go to my nan's house, right, ask her to cook you duck with orange sauce. She'll do it because she's a really nice lady like that. Even if you didn't know, you should probably do it, right? It is amazing. Yeah, like, oh dear, Katrina, I don't know if it would be. You wouldn't want to see me right now. I'm sat here like in just my shorts. I went and had a shower earlier after that work. I stunk of bonfire. So yeah, I just sat here in my shorts, and it's hot. It's warm in there. Right, 40 seconds left. And what did I tell you? Number 8, Christmas duck, running for its life, faster than anyone. Have you ever ran for your life? Guarantee it's the fastest you'll ever run. Either that or running from the police, and yet again, the police are behind him. So, Mantis Garden, you're the police. You chose the. Okay, let's not go into that. Oh no! Oh no! Number 8, come back! Come back! I sounded like the woman from Titanic then. Come back, come back. I sat on a piano and let him die. Yes, I won. I won my own race. Is that allowed? I don't know. I don't win these races because I never normally take part. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I'm happy with that. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. Oh, Christmas duck. Because I told you, you've got to run for your life. If you haven't ever run for your life, yeah, it is literally the fastest you're ever going to run, apart from if there's a policeman chasing you. That is, like, you can fly when there's a policeman chasing you. Fences in the way, they're not in the way anymore. You're over them and gone. Oh dear. Right, so that is one of our duck races. I hope everyone enjoyed that. And on that note, I am gonna, yeah, they are good fun. I am gonna go and get myself some dinner, probably sit here, answer a few more emails, send a few more emails, and annoy some more people. Quite possibly so, man, this garden, quite possibly so. I used to work with them, right? So I've got a very, very strange view of the police. I know what they get up to behind the scenes. So yes, they as well. Yeah, let's not get into it. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been absolutely spectacular. A massive thank you to our sponsors, Answer Us and Valhalla, sponsoring these streams for such a long time now. It feels like they'll never leave us. A massive thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. Obviously, your ongoing support has been phenomenally helpful the entire time we've been doing this as well. But a massive thank you, really, to everyone for joining in tonight. It's been a great stream. It's been great to come back to a nice stream like this after a little break. I did honestly need that little break. It is hard to do these streams twice a week, every week for like a year and a bit. You do run out of things to talk about, I guarantee you. But you know what it's like. I just needed that little break. So I do thank you all for your patience. Let me have that little time off. We've got other stuff done and loads of videos out, so you weren't bored. But yeah, please do join me again on Sunday, and I will see you there. Now, sometimes I don't shut up, Mantis Garden. Sometimes you won't get a word out of me, but sometimes I don't shut up. It depends how much stress I'm under and what kind of mood I'm in. But tonight, I'm going to go have some dinner. So, thank you all. I shall see you again soon. I shall see you on Sunday if you're there. 8:30 for the pre-show feeding, 9 p.m. for the actual chatting. Cool. Right. Good night, everyone. See you again soon, Ant fans. Good night.